How's it going? My name is Dustin Luke. I'm from the United States, and this video I'm going to give you guys a bunch of tips and tricks on how I learned the language of Spanish. ¿Estamos listos? ¿Comenzamos? Vamos. First and foremost, you need to understand that this is a long process. This is not a sprint, this is a marathon. It's going to take a very long time for you to achieve this. And you need to just be patient and understand that poco a poco, you're gonna get it and you're gonna make fewer mistakes and you're gonna get better. Just be patient and don't get frustrated. One of the biggest tips that I have for you guys is don't be afraid to make mistakes. Because listen, at the end of the day, you're gonna be talking to someone that knows that your first language is not Spanish. So for them to make fun of you is kind of absurd, right? You're here, you're putting in the effort, you're trying to learn the language, and they have to understand that, and they're going to understand that. Don't be afraid, put yourself out there, because if you are afraid to make mistakes, this is going to be a very long and very painful process. So don't be afraid to make mistakes, put yourself out there, you got this. You need to obsess over the language. I remember in the very beginning that I just obsessed over it. I found every situation possible where I could speak the language. You know, if I was out and I found a Latino speaking Spanish, I immediately jumped on that and I tried to practice. You have to practice as much as you possibly can. You have to obsess. Make it your top priority. Another tip is try to make friends that are Spanish speakers. You can do this in several different types of ways. You know, just look online, there are lots of sites, or move to another country. Immersing yourself into a culture is probably the best way of learning another language. And as soon as you get friends, you know, make sure that you spend time chatting with them online. You know, as soon as I met a Latino or a Spanish speaker, I would always be like, oh, you know, what's your Facebook? Or like, let's talk online. So that I spent about 2 hours a day chatting with my friends, reading, asking questions, and that's the beauty of it. You can always ask questions and they're gonna be excited that you're trying to learn their language. So try to make friends that are native Spanish speakers. And obviously a bonus is getting a girlfriend or a boyfriend that speaks the language, and then everything is much easier. ¿Cómo era esa palabra y cómo se escribe? Another thing that I always use was I wasn't afraid to stop the conversation and ask the person, what was that word that you just said and how do you say it? Because as soon as you understand how the word is written, or at least for me, that's when it was registered into my brain, and that's when I like really learned the word, especially because, you know, you have Latin roots and you can understand a little bit more. So don't be afraid to stop the conversation right there in that moment and be like, para, ¿cómo era esa palabra? ¿Cómo se escribe? That's the key. ¿Cómo se escribe? Okay, this is a good one. When you're in situations where it's very heated or there's a lot of emotions involved and you're really excited, try not to switch back to your native language. This is something that happened to me a lot. Let's say I just got to the house and I something like really exciting or crazy happened that day, and I was trying to explain it to my friend, and he would be like, ¿Qué? No entiendo. Forcing me to speak in Spanish. And that helped me tremendously, because if you switch back to English, then you're never going to, you have to have these situations where emotions are high, even though you don't have the words. It's gonna be a terrible story, and it's not gonna come out how you wanted it to come out, but it's going to force you to really communicate in that other language. Does that make sense? You have to be put into situations where you're forced, where you have no other option other than to speak in Spanish. So set your emotions aside and just try to communicate whatever it is that you're trying to say when you're excited, and I promise this is going to help you tremendously. All right, there you have it. These are my tips for learning the language of Spanish. Anytime someone asks me what suggestions or what tips do you have, these are the exact tips that I give them. I hope this helps. Just keep going. Understand that when there's a will, there's a way. This is a marathon. This is not a sprint.
Close your eyes, baby. Close your eyes. Feel the waves in degrees, baby. Feel the breeze in the skies on the road, baby. Can you roll where you are? Said you my baby. Come get these vibes, baby. Come and hop and let's ride. Girl, I'll take you down the west. Recline your seat and unwind.